Rain chances increasing for some for our Easter weekend. Your forecast across the Caribbean and the Bahamas starts right now.
This is Meteo Mundo.
Good Friday, everyone. Rusty back here at Meteo Mundo. It is Friday, and I hope you've had a very pleasant one. We've got our Easter weekend coming up, and I've got your forecast across the Caribbean and the Bahamas, which will highlight some higher rain chances for some of you for the Easter weekend ahead. I hope you've had a pleasant Friday so far. As we get started in the video, thank you so much for liking the video. If you have a specific question about the forecast, you can always drop it in the comments section below. So again, we'll start as we normally do with the broad perspective. We've had our front continuing to track through the Bahamas, the western side of the Atlantic, sneaking into portions of the northwest sides of the Caribbean, including places like the Cayman Islands. And temperatures ahead of that have been on the warmer side, but there is some cooler changes coming to go along with some increased rain chances. So these are your temperatures on this late Good Friday afternoon for us here. You can see a lot of mid and upper 80s. A couple of spots have gone above 90 degrees. It's been slightly cooler, thankfully, in places like Belize. Relatively speaking, it's been fairly nice temperatures. I mean, there's always going to be some extremes and some changes. It's been a little bit hot in the Kingston area. We're going to try and get my friends in Jamaica some showers popping up. You can see some really thick clouds over Cuba right now. And along this, what we call shear line, the opportunity for some rain there for eastern Cuba and the Turks and the Caicos. We're going to see some nighttime rain developing for Puerto Rico and portions of the Lesser Antilles as well. And these are some of the areas I do expect better rain chances. But just looking at temperatures overall, it's really not been a horrible day. I mean, obviously there are some spots where it's been a little bit warm. You can see down there in the ABC Islands, we're touching some 90-degree marks. It's been hot and steamy in Trinidad and Tobago. They're up to 91. Martinique has hit 90 as well. Then you get on over towards Freeport and Grand Bahama, and they're mainly sitting in the mid-70s. It's been very pleasant in that area lately. Let's take a look at the wind gusts. Again, you're going to see a couple of spots with that rain moving in of around 30-mile-an-hour winds in portions of Cuba. Then you get into San Juan, Puerto Rico, and portions of the U.S. Virgin Islands, and we've had some winds of up to 30 miles an hour. First of all, this is going to be kicking up the surf and sea conditions for some areas. There is a high surf advisory for Anguilla, the British Virgin Islands, and Antigua and Barbuda just through tonight, but typically speaking, you know, they won't issue these for more than 24, 48 hours in advance unless it's just a really long duration event. I would expect there to be some northerly swells with our north winds coming out of this here over the Easter weekend in this area. And again, we're even picking up in Guadalupe there's a nice little 30-mile-an-hour fresh breeze there. So the winds are actually going to be a big story for early next week. We're going to start to get back our easterlies and how that is going to influence our chance for some rain. All right, so that's kind of what it looks like right now. One other thing I want to look at real quickly as well, I'm going to switch over to the enhanced satellite imagery and then take a look at the upper level water vapor imagery. Again, you can almost see this moisture axis coming in. Now look, it's not as significant as what we would see in July and August, but it is going to allow more rain to develop mainly for the greater Antilles as we move into the Easter weekend. I don't expect it to be a washout anywhere. I know a lot of you have Easter services and Easter plans, and some of that includes being outdoors. Rain chances in some spots will be higher. It's not going to be a washout though. You might just want to keep the umbrella, and I'm going to show you where coming up in just a second. So we'll switch over right now to the wind vector product. And again, I mentioned this in the last video, the big spin, and you can see that spin moving through the Gulf of Mexico and through Florida. So let me swing this into motion for you here. You're going to see these winds whip up, and that broad area of low pressure moving off of the east coast of Florida and into the western Atlantic. Now, the first thing it's going to do is it's going to turn our winds more out of the northeast. Now, again, one of the big highlights of this week that we had is that, relatively speaking, for a lot of you, the winds were somewhat light and variable, or at least you didn't have your dominant wind direction that you normally do in late March. Well, as we get into early April, that's going to be changing up a bit. This low is going to be tracking just south of Bermuda. It is going to bring fresh northeast winds to places like Jamaica and Hispaniola, Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, and at least the northern side of the Leeward Islands. And eventually, as that low pulls off towards the east, we pick back up our strong easterlies. So now we're going to start to whip in more wind and at least the better opportunity for some showers through the Lesser Antilles, including Barbados and St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines, Martinique, areas like that. The winds are going to pick up over the ABC Islands, and then that southeast wind is going to make it hotter again in places like Belize and Cancun and in Honduras, and it'll get a little bit hotter in Jamaica. But Jamaica is one of those areas that has some nice weather and some higher rain chances coming, and the Bahamas. Boy, you want to talk about some nice weather over the next 5 days. That's one of those areas. But you can clearly see, again, the wind direction as we get into early next week, swinging from the northeast, more due east, and getting stronger. The pinks and the purples are winds that are over 20 knots in strength. One other look at the winds real quick. Let me get over to the wind gusts, because this product is showing you the wind direction. This one is going to show you how strong it is. Just look for any areas in green over 20 knots. And again, you can just see that there's going to be more of the Caribbean with that kind of wind. There's also going to be some wind picking up in the far northwest Caribbean and in the western Gulf of Mexico. That's something I'll be monitoring for mid next week, and we'll see the kind of energy that comes out of that area and how that could play some factor in our winds. But again, very clear to see the winds across a lot of our area picking up indeed. Okay, let's get into your rain. And we're going to take this island by island here. I know it's a big, important weekend. And as we do that, again, thanks for liking the video. You want these forecasts across the Caribbean, the Bahamas, hit that subscribe button right now. We're building a great weather community here. Let me know in the comments section below what weather you've seen. Let me know what your Easter plans are. I'd love to hear that. And of course, let me know if this weather might be impacting you. So I'm going to let this run over the next 5 days, and then we'll kind of do a deep dive. And again, take it island by island. You can see that there's a flare-up of some rain through portions of the Greater Antilles and other areas as well. But a lot of areas like Puerto Rico and Hispaniola, and then over towards Jamaica, Cuba, and the Turks and the Caicos, a little bit higher rain chance than some other spots, and higher than what you've seen as well. So we're going to start off in the ABC Islands. Why not? One of the areas that I don't expect a lot of rain over the next 5 days. So for Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, a few showers are possible. And guess what? That day that might have the best rain chance is going to be on Easter Sunday, the 31st. Morning rain could be passing by. Now, again, it's not going to be a washout. Look, you know, the model might be off just a little bit, or it might be a little bit late in the day, or it may not be as widespread. The chance overall is about 30% for the ABC Islands during the first half of Easter, and then a few spotty showers are possible early next week. I don't want to overstate it, but I do want to let you know that at least with the easterlies coming back in, more moisture should be available, slightly higher rain chance. Trinidad and Tobago, Grenada included, isolated showers. Again, we'll let this run maybe a couple over our Easter weekend. Better opportunity starting Monday and into Tuesday. That being said, that opportunity goes from basically 0 to about 20%. We'll just have more showers coming in with the easterly winds, and that will drive in a bit more rain. For my friends in Barbados, again, right now, no issues with the swells there. Barbados does look pretty good from Spadestown. I zoomed in too much there on over towards Bridgetown. Again, with the easterlies, we'll pick up the rain being lifted on the eastern side of the island, trying to dump it on the central and the western sides of the island. But again, the rain chances overall don't look very good. So 10% chance the remainder of today and Saturday, just a 20% chance for a brief shower on Easter, then a slightly higher chance for mainly passing showers on Monday and Tuesday. Relatively speaking, temperatures aren't bad. I know there's some humidity, but upper 80s out there for you out there. So enjoy Easter in Barbados. And of course, some of that rain, and we've had some brief passing showers in places like St. Vincent and St. Lucia for today. Again, just a little bit more green on the map later in the week. Same thing for Martinique and Dominica. I don't see a huge rain chance there. Now we get towards Guadeloupe and areas north, like Montserrat and St. Kitts and Nevis and St. Bartholomew and Ceiba, Barbuda, Antigua, Anguilla. Our rain chances will be up a tick compared to the islands that I previously mentioned. And that's simply because there's more moisture, generally speaking, the farther north that you go. There's the opportunity for some overnight rain into Saturday morning, especially, and I'll get over to the Virgin Islands coming up, but especially for the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico, but Anguilla and St. Martin and St. Bartholomew and St. Kitts and Nevis could be included in that. This is Easter morning, 3 a.m., you can see there's more spotty rain. It's going to try and break up around daybreak or just after, and then maybe additional showers developing Sunday night and into Monday. But by far, it looks like the overnight rain is the highest rain chance in this area. It doesn't mean we won't catch some afternoon rain. This is Monday. You can see some rain over Barbuda, but especially for the holiday weekend, it should hopefully be during the nighttime hours. So just keep that in mind. And then as we get into Tuesday, again, relatively decent rain chances. This is one area that will have rain chances every day over the next 5 days. Okay, for the British Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico, again, I expect a little bit of rain to develop later on this evening. I don't expect it to be widespread. The better rain chance comes in Saturday morning from Tortola and Roadtown and St. Thomas and St. Vincent, and St. Croix and St. John, including the Cruz Bay area, Charlotte Amalie, Christiansted, Fajardo, Esperanza there on the eastern sides of Puerto Rico, including San Juan, even down towards Ponce. You can see those showers just trying to kind of crop up here and there. Now, as we get into Easter morning, this is, again, the wee hours into 6 a.m., I expect there to be a few showers around. Not a washout, but not completely dry on Easter. And relatively speaking, rain chances will be high. Again, this could be, fairly cloudy skies, overcast with some lighter rain or some passing showers. And again, this continues into our Monday as well. But rain chances, relatively speaking, are up there. I'm going to run this one more time for my friends in San Juan and the Ponce area. And again, you can see mainly evening, overnight showers, but I can't rule out some trying to develop in the afternoon as well. So should be dry the remainder of the daylight hours today. A couple of showers late tonight, but mainly after midnight. Overall, it's a 50% chance for showers Saturday, a 50% chance for showers on Sunday, even likelier rain with breezy northeast winds at a high of just 82 on Monday. And it's just going to be 82 for Easter Sunday in San Juan as well. And then we'll be drying out. We're going to still have our winds again picking up, as I mentioned, northeast to east with the daytime high right around 84 degrees. Another area that should expect to see decent rain chances, at least in the short term, is going to be the Dominican Republic, all the Dominican Republic, Punta Cana, Santo Domingo, Santiago de los Caballeros, Puerto Plata there. You can see that moisture sinking from north to south. So as we get into tomorrow afternoon, you can see that rain is relatively widespread. Showers, lighter rain, maybe a downpour or two. We'll look at the total rain in your area coming up, but these aren't going to be significant amounts, meaning that I do not expect there to be flooding issues in most areas. Now, for the Dominican Republic, you should begin to dry out on Easter. Your rain chance will be lower. It's not going to be completely dry, but it looks to dry out quicker in this area. There will be a few leftover showers early next week. So when we compare San Juan's forecast, which is still wet through Monday, it's drier in Santo Domingo. Still dry for today. Your best rain chances tomorrow with a high of 86. The chance of rain is 60%. A few showers Easter Sunday and into Monday, and then warmer and breezy and drier on Tuesday. The high getting back up to around 90 degrees. Okay, generally speaking, the farther west that we go, like my friends in Jamaica, slightly lower rain chances. So let's get into it. Look, the rain chances will be better here than what we've had lately. It's just not going to be as much rain as islands off towards the east. The moisture is a little bit more concentrated north and east. But let's break it down for my friends in Jamaica. So let me go back to this afternoon and evening. An isolated shower is possible. Not going to be a lot of rain in Jamaica. Let me get in just there. We get Old Harbor on the map, of course, Mandeville, Maypen. Actually, let me pause it right there. I want to make sure I take this step by step. Let me go back. Let's go step by step. So tonight, a few showers try and move in into early Saturday morning. The rain chance for tomorrow, 30-40%, nothing very heavy. Now, hopefully, we can get some rain in the morning and not get a lot more sunshine. Otherwise, it's going to be really steamy if sun returns in the afternoon. So what does Easter Sunday look like in Jamaica? Well, here we go. You can see in the morning hours, it's relatively dry. The model has a few light showers along the eastern coast, including Port Antonio, and then trying to develop at least spotty rain Easter Sunday afternoon, 4 o'clock. You can see maybe a few showers developing there with the heat of the day, but nothing that's going to be widespread. Overall for Easter, many dry areas and locations, but not completely dry. I want to be very clear. It's not going to be completely dry on Easter, and it's not going to be completely dry through early next week. Now, I know a lot of you want this rain. Maybe you don't want it to occur on Easter Sunday itself. I don't expect there to be a lot of showers there. And then just like Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic, you will begin to dry out early next week. So 20% chance for a shower later today, hot afternoon, 91 the high in Kingston. For Saturday, 40% chance for scattered showers, 88. Sunday, a 30% chance for rain. Probably not a lot around right around daybreak. That would be good news. We're back up to a 40% chance on Monday and then a 20% chance on Tuesday. So there is a rain chance on the island each of the next 5 days. More than likely, you'll catch a shower or two, maybe 2 or 3 of these days at best, with daytime highs upper 80s to the lower 90s. In a lot of areas, it's going to be around 29 to 30, 31 degrees Celsius. Okay, my friends in the Cayman Islands, West End, Georgetown area, again, spottier rain there. I would expect a brief passing shower possible over the Easter weekend, but even here, now our rain chance goes even lower. A little flare up of rain. Let me get back to that real quick, just to show you a little flare up of rain tomorrow and then into Easter Sunday itself. Here's the 31st, a brief passing shower. It's going to be about a 10 to 20% chance. Okay, Belize, you've gotten a little bit cooler. That's nice to see. Now, it's not going to last forever, but we've had a nice little change in our wind direction to help cool things down. What does the rain chance look like in your area for the Easter weekend? Well, we'll mainly be dry today and tomorrow. As we get into our Easter Sunday, a few light showers trying to come in. Now, there could be a couple of showers. Let me step this back real quick again. A couple of showers trying to move along the coast on Easter Sunday for places like Belize City and San Pedro. 20 to a 30% chance at best, but it may not be completely dry. You are one of the areas that late into this period, rain chances might start to go a little bit higher. Now, you don't see it yet, but some moisture coming out of the southwest Gulf of Mexico, the Bay of Campeche area could spell some higher rain for you mid to late next week. That's what I'm going to be watching. But overall, relatively dry. Again, southeast winds kicking in mid next week. You're going to up your temperatures again. We could be talking about triple digits again in some inland places like San Ignacio. I got to tell you, if you're vacationing, living in the Bahamas over the next 5 days, enjoy it, guys. It's going to be gorgeous. Central, southeast Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, some isolated showers are possible from Nassau north, including Eleuthera and Abaco and Andros and Walker's Key and Grand Bahama and the Bimini areas. I think it's going to basically be dry over the next 5 days. So we could catch a couple of showers on Easter in the central and the southeast Bahamas. Isolated in nature, not anything heavy, maybe a little bit more redevelop of a rain. We're kind of on the back end of more moisture again that's feeding into places like Hispaniola and Puerto Rico, but still at least a few showers trying to crop up there. So let us wrap it up with what the rain totals look like across all areas. So let me get out 5 days. Boom, right there. And again, if you haven't hit the like button, how about that like button for Easter weekend? I'd appreciate that a lot. Dry in the Bahamas. Here comes that moisture access through the Caribbean. Here come at least higher rain chances with some accumulations through the Lesser Antilles. Again, I'm not going to spend a ton of time here, but I'll just go up and down the islands. You can see that from even Anguilla down towards Antigua, Barbuda, Dominica, St. Lucia. There's Barbados trying to catch maybe a little bit higher total. See if I can get my clicker to move a little bit slower for me here. There you go. So you're looking at, a quarter, maybe a half inch of rain in a lot of spots. But what is the biggest deal? There's a lot of blue on this map. There's not a lot of dry spots. And that's kind of the highlight of the weekend and into early next week. So San Juan, maybe another half inch of rain. Esperanza, Fajardo, St. Thomas, St. John, quarter of an inch. Same thing for my friends in St. Croix there. Don't expect a lot of rain, again, but showers kind of trying to develop every day. Same situation here, a lot of blue. It doesn't indicate heavy rain, but there's a lot of blue on the map. So for the Dominican Republic, Santo Domingo, maybe a tenth to a quarter of an inch. Punta Cana, maybe a quarter, maybe up to a half inch. Slightly higher totals towards Puerto Plata and Santiago de los Caballeros. Nothing too heavy. Nice little rain off the coastline of Haiti. And again, kind of missing Jamaica to the east. There you go, guys. Ocho Rios, quarter of an inch of rain. Mandeville, Maypen areas, same thing. Old Harbor and Kingston, Portmore and Spanish Town, not a ton. Again, maybe a few more showers right on the eastern tip of the island, including Port Antonio. For my friends in Jamaica, I would expect around 1/4 inch of rain overall for the next 5 days. Then you get over to, as I mentioned, Belize, and there's not a lot. There's some heavier rain, the Caribbean coastlines of Honduras and Nicaragua, and then for Belize City itself, isolated totals of 1/10 of an inch. And again, some of that falling over the weekend, including Easter morning, but more than likely nothing more than that. So that's kind of the broad perspective again of these showers that are going to be moving into the area. Friends, I appreciate you watching. Remember, you can find us through a lot of social media, Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook. You can send me a picture or video at mymeteomundo@gmail.com. Thank you for liking this video. Please become a subscriber as well if you want the latest forecasts across the Caribbean and the Bahamas. I hope that you have a great rest of your Good Friday. Happy Easter if I don't see you before then, friends. But I will see you soon right here at Meteo Mundo.